Alright, what's up, guys? So, I'm going to talk about stimming and echoalia in autism. And I'll admit, I experienced these things myself. I remember when I was a kid, I would be sitting in the back seat, I would look out the window, and there would be an electrical post. Every electrical post, I would blink every single time. I would always think that every time I would blink, I'm right at its location. I'm really accurate where the electrical post is. I would do that every time when I was younger, and it was a way for me to calm me down. It was a way for me to distract myself and cope from what I was feeling. Say if I was nervous, say if I was very anxious of going to school or something, I would look out the window and say this is the post and the car is going this way, I would blink like that, I would basically do shit like that to calm me down with my emotions, basically. I still stim in a way. I think smoking cigarettes is like a stimming thing. I feel excited, I'll smoke. I feel anxious, I'll smoke a cigarette, you know what I mean? And Another thing about stimming is it's just kind of a way to calm your sensory issues. If you feel like you're gonna have a sensory overload, you're overly stimulated, you try to cope, you try to stim, right? You try to find ways to focus on stimming than actually be head on with the fucking shit that's going on, because it's so intense with the sensory issues, it can hinder your life, Depending where you're on the spectrum, if you're further on the spectrum, it's harder to deal with, and they'll stim more, I'll say with echoalia, there was times where I would say certain phrases when I was a kid. I would make noises, because if I watch something on TV, I think it's cool of how that person says it. I'll be bored or something, and I'll repeat that phrase, It's kind of weird, but it's kind of a way, if I'm bored, if I'm stressed, sometimes I'll just say some phrases and when I'm alone, type of thing. Yeah, it's just a lot of it's coping. A lot of it's coping, and a lot of it is trying to say if you're feeling like garbage, you try to distract yourself and you express your emotions that way, stimming. Well, let's look it up a little bit. There's different ways how people stim and echoalia and stuff. So auditory verbal stimming, repetitive sounds, humming, repeating words. I've done that shit before. Definitely repeating words and phrases, I still fucking do it. Sometimes it's kind of weird, but sometimes with this content I make, doomer or the black pill shit, sometimes I'll just say doomer, out loud, or black pillow. It's just weird, kind of makes me kind of distract myself in a way. Visual, yeah, like I said before, I was blinking. I would be riding the back seat, and electrical posts would be going on. I would blink every fucking time. Try to be accurate with that. Yeah, I guess tactile. I guess I could do this with my beard. I guess I do that as for stimming if I feel nervous, or I do it when I'm bored, So proprioceptive, jumping, pacing, head banging. Yeah, I'll say I would pace, but Those were mostly things when I was younger, mostly. Those. Vestibular, rocking back and forth, spinning or jumping. Yeah, I'll say, I don't know if I experienced that with stimming with that too. And that's another thing. Not everyone's going to experience the same things when they stim. Everyone's different with that, And stimming can get to the point where it can mess up your life. Also, it can impact you, and people will see that shit and they'll treat you a certain way. They'll bully you, and that's fucked up. People are shallow that way, and that's people can mess you up when you're just stimming. You're just trying to calm down, and they just make your mental health worse. Bullies like that, when they see you stim and they say, "Oh, that's unusual," Normies will not understand that. Sniffing objects. Oh, it's called olfactory oral. Sniffing objects, seeking out strong smells, biting or chewing on objects, or making repetitive mouth movements. Yeah, not sure if I ever had that for stimming, but maybe the smoking cigarette thing kind of does, It's more of I smoke and it's like, it makes me feel good a lot of times. Yeah, it says it helps manage overwhelming sensory input or find comfort in familiar sensations. Regulating your emotions, it can help with that. If you're too excited, you are too anxious, it can help regulate that so it don't go out of control, I guess. Yeah, that's what it's calming. It's a cope, That's what it is, stimming. Yeah, it's like a natural thing, and there's people out there they'll overlook their disability for who they are, and they see someone stimming, they're seeing stuff that neurotypicals don't do. They'll fucking point at them. They'll fucking make fun of them, They shouldn't be that way. It's fucked up. Yeah, and the thing is, like, you could be stimming and harming yourself also. You can do something that can, like, say you like to get like a plastic knife and you cut your arms for, like, you have more of a masochist kind of feeling. It's harmful, but it feels good, Or, like, whatever you guys can think of that can be harmful is stimming, I guess, for yourself, I'll say I used to do hand flapping when I was a kid. I remember when I was in imposter syndrome with my autism, I would see videos of me flapping my hands on the diving board when I would be jumping. And I would deny my autism, but I knew in the back of my head, I was like, that's symptoms of autism, And that's me being excited in that video. I was ready to jump on the pool. And I was stimming. I was going like this. I was jumping a lot, So, yeah. I guess walking on your tippy toes times. I don't think I really did that much when I was younger or anything like that, but I know there's some people on the spectrum that do that. It's a way for them to cope, and if they're anxious, they're nervous about something, they'll be walking on their tippy toes, or it makes them feel comfortable, But that's the thing, like, stimming can not always be a good thing, because if you walk on your tippy toes all the time, right, it can affect your toes, Too much stimming can not be good all the time, I think neurotypicals can stim, but it's more common in people with autism, Now let's talk about E. coli again. Echoalia, I mean. Yeah, I usually get the delayed E. coli. Echoalia, I mean. Like, I would hear it from, like, conversations. I would hear it from, like, stuff I watch on TV, YouTube, you know? Like, I was talking about, like, Black Pillar or Doomer. Like, I would think it's funny, and I would say it out loud, you know? So, I'll do that by myself a lot of times. Yeah, supposedly it helps with your language skills in a way. It can help you in ways. Yeah, it can help express yourself, you know? Yeah, and that's why I guess I was in speech classes, you know, when I was talking about that on my old channel. So I would be having self control of my echoalia, you know, and I wouldn't be doing that while talking to people all the time, you know, and that wasn't an easy thing to do. So, um, yeah. Yeah, say it's not necessarily always a bad thing, but it can affect your life because this is a neurotypical world and people will see you repeat phrases or something and people will be judgmental, you know? Pretty pathetic to me. I mean, I think I'm always going to be stimming, to be honest with you. I'll always be, if I'm anxious, I'm going to stim. If I feel excited, I'm stimming. Maybe it won't be as intense as when I was younger, because I guess like the older you get, you can mask better possibly, even though it's very difficult, and you find ways where you can stim without people like questioning you, you know. This is a judgmental world, man. Seriously. But catch you guys with another one.